Okay, this is part 3 and the final of the mystery promised land. And I want to talk about what is the prophetic sign that you need to look out for those who are awaking, who are obedient, and those are getting prepared. And I'm going to show you that in his word, he will give us a sign. Let's look at it. Worldwide scattering of Yasharel. This has already happened. In Deuteronomy 28:64, and Yahuwah shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. Yasharel is now in every nation, proof that the curses of disobedience came true. Sign for the remnant, awareness of who we are and awakening of identity. Many descendants are realizing they are Yasharel in these last generations. The awakening of Yasharel in the nations. In Baruch 2 and 30 in the Apocrypha, in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. In Hosea 3 and 5, afterwards shall the children of Yasharel return and seek Yahuwah their Elohim and David their king, and shall fear Yahuwah and his goodness in the latter days. So the people of Yasharel will begin repenting, leaving church traditions, keeping Torah, and calling on Yahuwah's true name. That's the sign of you being a remnant and awakening. You're not celebrating your birthday. You're not celebrating Halloween and Labor Day and Christmas and Thanksgiving and all these pagan holidays. You're not celebrating all these things that the Gentiles do. If you're still doing that, you're still eating pork. You're still eating the bottom feeders like shrimp and all that stuff. Bottom feeders. You're not awakening. If you're not even celebrating the Sabbath from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, you're not even awakened yet. If you're watching, celebrity gossip and you all into Diddy and you can't wait to go to Beyonce's concert and listen to Chris Brown and Rihanna and all these people, and even for you people that say you're grafted in, you're listening to, the people that you're listening to, and you're doing everything, drinking and sleeping with different women and different men and having all these children, relying on the government, you're not awakened. You're not awakening. You're still asleep. So this is not for you. He will be doing judgment on the nations like the daughter of Zion is saying. Before regathering the nations that scattered enslaved Yasharel will face judgment. In Joel 3 and 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Yasharel, whom they have scattered among the nations. So you will see increasing plagues, disasters, downfall of powerful nations that oppress Yasharel. And then there's going to be a separation of the remnant in Ezekiel 20, 37 through 38. I will cause you to pass under the rod and will bring you into the bond of the covenant. And I will purge out from among you the rebels. I read that before in the previous video. Revelations 18:4, which I'm always saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sin. Come out of Babylon. You're enjoying these women. You're enjoying these strange women and strange men too much. You're enjoying too much of the Gentiles, the paganism. You got to come out of that. Because Yahuwah causes obedient ones to separate from Babylon's system, spiritual and physical. Many will feel pressed to leave worldliness and prepare. You got to get ready for the wilderness hiding place in Isaiah 26:20. And come, my people, enter into your chambers and shut your doors about you. Hide yourselves as if it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. In Revelations 12 and 6, and the woman fled into the wilderness where she had place prepared of Elohim. Yahuwah will give a clear instructions through signs in the Ruach to move. This may be sudden, supernatural, and only visible to those who are walking in obedience. Now he's going to be regathering us. I've already read that in the previous scripture. You have to be looking for the signs. After judgment and hiding, Yahuwah personally leads his purified remnant into the promised land. So the remnant will know it's time when the awakening spreads among scattered Yasharel. Judgment falls on the nation. Separation from Babylon becomes urgent. Supernatural guidance directs them into hiding. And Yahuwah himself regathers them into the land of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So Yasharel, it's time for you to come out of those sororities. Come out of those Messianic places. You got to come out of idolatry. You got to come out of fornication, adultery. You got to come out of addictions. You got to come out of alcoholism, cigarettes, smoking tobaccos, cigars, marijuana, opiate, and fentanyl. You got to come out of having all these childless babies, relying on the government. They just said that a bunch of people were taken off of SNAP and that there was going to be violence because none of these people prepared, because they've been receiving it for so long. They didn't save no money. They was just not working. They're lazy, taking advantage of all the resources of people that really need it. It wasn't meant for you to stay on it for a lifetime. It was only meant for you to be on there when you needed it. I had it for my babies when I was young, when I had small children, and I needed it. I was on it for a whole year. I was on Section 8 and I was on welfare for a whole year. And I went to night school to become a nurse, got a job, and I got off the system and never been on it no more. I was able to take care of my babies when their father passed. So what I'm saying is, Yahuwah is supposed to be your provider. He's supposed to be your source. You know, just like how he led the children of Yasharel by the cloud and the fire, and he gave them manna, food to eat. They went through the wilderness for 40 years and didn't need new sandals. They didn't need new clothes. They didn't need anything. They didn't want for anything. Yahuwah took care of them. And those that rebelled, that were over 21, they didn't even get to see the promised land because of their rebellion and stiff-neckedness. That's why if you read throughout history, Yasharel, the children of Israel, and Yehuda, they've been in slavery for years and centuries and centuries and centuries. Aren't you tired of being at the bottom and wondering why things are always like that? Well, you shouldn't be anymore, because Yahuwah is taking care of his children now. Those that are awakening, those are listening and heeding to his voice and spending time with him. Yahuwah is doing so many things for us, men and women and children. He's getting us prepared. He's making us listen and hear what he's doing. So you need to get ready.